Table Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with former OSU All-American Jim Lachey and the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome into another Buckeye Roundtable as Ohio State takes care of UCLA 48-10. Gets ready for the home finale with Rutgers this week. 2 hours of Buckeye and OSU college football talk coming your way with former OSU All-American, NFL All-Pro Jim Lachey. Happy Monday, mid-November.
Happy Monday, week 11.
Hall of Fame broadcaster, long-time voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Just trying to be as relevant as the Buckeyes are.
Hall of Fame coach, former Ohio State head coach John Cooper. It is always a great night when we get to talk football with Coach Cooper. Great to have you.
Always good to be with you guys.
Buckeye coach Ryan Day will join us later this hour. Fellas, on a weekend that saw top teams get tested and almost upset, some were, while another like Alabama fell, how important was it for Ohio State, again, might be boring, but to keep making a statement, even shorthanded, like they were a bit on Saturday? Coach Cooper, just keeping serve right now.
We came out Saturday ready to go to work. There's no question about it. What was it, 27-0 at halftime, something like that?
Yeah, it was.
There was no question about it. Even when we been on the sideline there and watched them warm up, it was going to be a no contest. I mean, we came out there and warmed up, got ready to play. They looked to me like I'm not sure what we're doing back here. You know?
UCLA, right?
Yeah, UCLA, yeah.
Paul, again, it's boring to say this, but yeah, I mean, you can't take anything for granted, and kudos to Ohio State for just continuing to take care of business.
Hey, you know, we're not that far removed from Woodshed, Iowa, that night game at Purdue when things got sideways, and losses that kept Ohio State out of the 14 playoffs. So boring, yes. Routine, yes. But it's just what needs to be done to put themselves in position for what lies ahead.
Yeah, I think you kind of credit the coaching staff for having each individual group ready, and then the seniors, the captains, making sure everybody's out there is ready to go, on point, excited to go out there and play. And you know, this one, it's a senior day. It's final, and that's emotional for a lot of guys out there playing their last game in the horseshoe. We think, you know, nothing's guaranteed, but, you know, you're playing that way that this will be the last time that you get a chance to play. So you want to go out there with a great taste in your mouth.
I know UCLA has struggled this season, but how good was it for Ohio State to get the ground game going? 222, Bo Jackson going over 100. Coach Cooper.
I thought it was real good the way we did the whole ball game. Not only the running game, we put them away in the first half and played a lot of young kids. Even in the first half, we played a lot of two wide receivers hadn't played very much all year.
Yeah.
So we got a chance to put them away. Got a chance to play a lot of football players. And as far as I know, we didn't get anybody hurt.
Don't say this very often. Ohio State had more rushing yards than passing yards.
No, not at all. And certainly being able to break some long plays. But it also helps keep the ball away from the opposing team. And you know that at the end of the month and what may come in December and January, you're going to face stiffer defenses and you're going to need to have some balance.
And to see it get done with, you know, two freshmen in the sophomore, you know, to go out there and dominate the way they did. And, you know, last week against Purdue, they went out and, you know, ran 43 times. This week they come back, had 33 rushes and, you know, 34 passing attempts. So they were very balanced trying to get it, but they had a lot of success. And to see those chunk plays, you know, Isaiah had a 38-yarder. Bo Jackson had a 32-yarder. You get big plays like that, that gets everybody in the field excited.
When you're running the ball and keeping it away from that offense, the other team for a long time, you play really good defense. Yeah. That's why you guys are really good on defense.
Coach Cooper, you had teams to be in this position that Ohio State's in right now. We know what's coming next week. As a coach, what's the key to stay focused on this week, though?
Well, you got to be one game at a time. And you talk about that, one game at a time. Hey, you're still looking ahead a little bit. Don't kid yourself. But if you know, you got to work on the two-point play. You got to work on your kicking game. You don't turn the ball over, things like that. You got to do that every day, regardless of who you're playing. I didn't like senior tackle the Thursday before we played the Saturday Michigan game. I didn't like that. I thought that put too much emphasis on individuals and getting ready. These guys, it's your last game and blah, blah, blah. You got to get ready for the game you're playing that Saturday afternoon. but you're also looking ahead a little bit.
And we witnessed, I want to say, was it 13? The Michigan State loss here, the Ohio State's home finale the week before,
Yes.
that they did, it wasn't, they didn't execute the way they wanted to, and they were looking ahead.
Looking ahead to Michigan, and Michigan State came in very motivated. Yeah, I think, Skip, the thing that will help going into this game, it's Greg Schiano. There's familiarity. People know what Greg is going to instill in his football team. They're known for blocking kicks and coming up with gimmick plays, so I think that's going to help keep some focus where it needs to.
Jim, as a player, he's just keeping yourself focused and motivated for this week, knowing what's coming.
Well, yeah, I mean, every game's so important, and I don't think there's any problem getting motivated to come play in the Horseshoe. Again, your family, friends are there. You got the whole, your student bodies there watching. Again, you want to go out and you want to do things the right way, and you want to go out there and dominate and get a win. So I don't think there's any problem getting motivated. Certainly, you know what's coming up. It's in the back of everybody's minds, but you got to take care of your business this week, and then you worry about that next week.
Tonight's broadcast, as well as all of our Buckeye Roundtables throughout the season, are available on our flagship station's YouTube page. Simply search WBNS Radio on YouTube. You can watch it live or later if you miss any part of it. You can also download the Buckeye Roundtable podcast wherever you find your favorite podcast, and be sure to subscribe to both. Fans, you can win a catered party for up to 20 people at your home for an away game this season, plus a behind-the-scenes tour of Ohio Stadium for 10. The Giant Eagle Tailgates and Tour Sweepstakes is presented by Pop-Tarts, Rice Krispie Treats, and Coca-Cola. Register today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/tailgates for your chance to win. Saturday, Ohio State will host Rutgers. We'll be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 10:30 a.m. Up next, our 60-second timeout as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes. Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you. Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
This is the home of the Buckeyes, the Fan Tune. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show, presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper, and with us tonight, I'm Skip Mossick. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare.
Buckeye Roundtable, 60-second timeout.
The guys kick in the air. And it'll be fielded by Lorenzo Styles in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. Running on an angle to the left. He gets to the 15. To the 20 goes Lorenzo Styles. To the 30. To the 40 goes Lorenzo Styles. He's in a foot race to the end zone. Styles to the 20 of the Bruins to the 10. And he is in the end zone for a kick return. Touchdown. Lorenzo Styles. No flags. The first return on a kickoff for a touchdown for Ohio State since 2010. 40-7 Buckeyes.
15 years, a long time without a kick return for a touchdown. Coach Cooper, in an era where the majority of kickoffs now are just touchbacks, how much are things like kick return worked on in practice?
Well, you work on them in practice, but when I was the head coach, we only had one team that returned punts or kickoffs. You didn't work with a whole team. You had one team. We played Pitt one year, if you remember. Late in the game, they got ready to punt the ball, and I said, punt team. They rushed on the field, and we only had 8 guys, but we returned it for a touchdown. We scored 70-something points.
I know.
Johnny Majors met me at the field after the game. He said, you guys try to keep it under 70, and we wouldn't let you. I never will forget that.
8 guys.
You work on it. You work on it all the time, obviously.
And because, again, Paul, that's the thing. It's going to continue. I think it could, with these rules, I don't want to say it could be another 15 years, but it may, just because you have so few of them that you run back.
Skip, that's the key. So many kickoffs are into the end zone for touchbacks. And you never know for sure, but it looks like when some of these guys are out there that they're immediately signaling touchback. They're ordered not to attempt to return it. And if you look back at the video, Lorenzo on that return, remember, he slipped in his first few steps coming out of the end zone.
I think we've only brought out 4 or 5. So it's like a handful for sure under 10 the whole year. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of rare. I mean, if you don't bring everyone out, then, you're not going to have that ability to do it. But it's exciting.
You bring up a good point. Most of the time they kick the dang ball out of the end zone.
Exactly. They're usually touchbacks.
Exactly.
Everybody you get this time of the year. I mean, you look at, our kicker, Jaden Fielding, he's got 48 touchbacks. So that's, he's kicked off 67 times, and, 2/3 of them, go out of the end zone. There's no opportunity to kick it or to return it. But it's exciting, and it's one of those things you never forget. We had Keith Byers in the Fiesta Bowl, had a kickoff return for a touchdown. And you just remember everything about that play because, they're rare. It doesn't happen very often. Same with punt returns. Punt returns, you get a little bit more opportunity, to return. But, with some of these teams we're facing, you got to play punt return safe. Keep your defense out there and, send Brandon Ennis or your punt returner back there. And usually when you're going safe, you're going to, fair catch it because, you're not counting on those guys to come get some blocks. There's not a return set up. But no, that was good to see that happen and make a play and got a kick out of Lorenzo Styles. He goes, when I brought it out, I was thinking touchdown the whole way, and he was thinking the right way. And really the best thing about that, to see him celebrate with his teammates, especially Sonny Styles.
Injuries next, guys. They're part of the game. No Cornell Tate. Jeremiah Smith hobbled a little bit. We even saw Julian Sand get rolled a little bit on Saturday. How do you balance playing through some of those while still getting ready for a game, even one like this, Coach Cooper, when you're heavy favorites?
That's why you have team doctors. Yeah. A team doctor told me, I said, hey, you don't tell me how to coach. I don't tell you how to run your business. If you let me know whether the guy can play or not.
Yeah. You can't. I mean, that's what you got to do. And, I think most of the guys want to play, if they can.
Exactly.
But you got to be careful. You got to be smart.
Yeah.
And let's face it, today's day and age, these guys got agents. They're in their ears too, or their uncles or their parents, guardians telling them, hey, be careful, be safe. And, sometimes that's an influence for the player. But for the coaching staff, you got to, you got to go to the trainers, you got to go to the doctors. If they're okay to play, if they say they're okay to play, then you do it, and you give them an opportunity to go. But
and certainly if they tell you not to let him play,
yeah,
he doesn't
but
play.
Look around the country, everybody's got injuries. Everybody's been banged up.
Yeah.
Team up north has a few guys that are banged up, especially at the running back position. It's just part of the game.
All right, next up, UCLA. Paul falls to 3-7, 3-4 in the Big Ten. We do it every week. Rate the opponents.
Not very good, especially without Nico Iamaleava. And him not playing really changed the defensive approach for Ohio State. They were going to have to be concerned about a quarterback who had really hurt opponents running the football. They've got some good talent, some good players, but they caught lightning in a bottle after their coaching change when they upset Penn State. They rode that for a few games, but you can see the warts that they have.
Yeah, and, they punted 5 times that first half. Second half, the third quarter, they got got things figured out a little bit. Luke Duncan settled down their quarterback, and they were able to make a play, especially that 51-yard reception that they had. So, they got some guys. They're on scholarship too. They understand that that they have the ability to do it. But Ohio State just went out there and had a fast start and completely shut them out that first half.
Coach Cooper, we talked about it all week last week. But what does UCLA have to do, in your opinion, to get back to the level that they want to be at? The UCLA at one time was, it was a blue blood. I mean, it was right there.
I coached out there a couple of years and fortunate enough to win the Rose Bowl, but it's 3 things they got to do. They got to recruit, and recruit. They got to get better players. They got to get better players. And, you got a pretty good team right across town that usually got better players than you got.
Yeah.
Talking about Southern California, USC. But there's a lot of people live in California. You got to keep those players at home.
All right, guys, great job. Coming up next, we will break down this past weekend around the Big Ten. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Whatever happens today, take it on with a fresh cup of True Brew coffee. Now only $1 with True Rewards. True North Store's True Brew coffee is a hot, flavorful gourmet blend created from coffee beans from around the world. As a free True Rewards member, pick the size that is perfect for you and pay only $1. Don't have the True Rewards mobile app? Find it in the Apple or Google Play Store to download and save instantly. True North convenience stores. Fast, friendly, clean.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Picture it. your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Columbus is home of the Jim Rome Show. The Fan Team. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mossick. Buckeye Coach Ryan Day coming up in about 15 minutes or so. A quick programming note coming up at the top of the hour. If you're in Columbus and want to continue listening to Roundtable, please tune to our AM station, 1460 The Fan 2. We'll be breaking away for Blue Jackets hockey at the top of the hour on 97.1. Everybody else around the network or statewide, stay with us. Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage. Their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Big Ten Breakdown.
Here we go. Snap is good. The ball is placed down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Dominic Sabata will walk it off. And Michigan survives at Wrigley.
Doug Harsh on Learfield. Michigan certainly does survive against Northwestern, 24-22.
Savada had missed a couple of field goals previous to that. Here's the million-dollar question. Coach, did you ever team with 5 turnovers ever win a game?
Probably not. Probably not. Probably
That's
not.
an amazing number, Paul.
5 turnovers and they won the game.
Northwestern has not won at Wrigley Field. They're waiting for that new stadium. They've never won at Wrigley Field. Because usually it's in Ohio State. This time it's in Michigan.
It sounded like a Michigan home game.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And much like it did last year when Ohio State played there. They got a freshman wide receiver that's coming on from Michigan. Andrew Marsh had 12 receptions for 189 yards in that game. Most by a freshman since 1979. So they got some young talent that stepped up and played well there.
To the Coliseum, where USC hosted Iowa.
Jackson will have another touchdown run if he gets in, and he does. The Trojans, for the first time today, have the lead over the Iowa Hawkeyes. How do you do? It must be the lighting of the torch, as SC is out in front and Brian Jackson's second touchdown run of the day.
Pete Arbogast, USC Radio. Important game for both teams. SC pulls it out 26-21.
And Mekhi Lemon is proving that he's one of the top wide receivers in the Big Ten, maybe one of the top receivers in the country. Maeva, their quarterback, is on a real good wavelength with him. But, USC people still have some questions about them, but they're still doing just enough to kind of stay in the thick of it.
Yeah, they came back. They were down 21-10 in that ball game. It was kind of a rainy day out there at the Coliseum, and Iowa, put some good things up the first half, but just couldn't continue in the second half. And then one of the Iowa assistant coaches got an unsportsmanlike penalty for running out in the field right there with a minute and a half, under 2 minutes to go, that allowed USC to continue the drive and drain the clock.
USC must have made some good halftime adjustments. Looked like they outplayed them in the second half, 16-0.
Yep.
Yeah. Who wants to play Iowa right now? I mean, they played the top-tier teams very, very tough.
They have. They've done a good job. Coach Ferentz has done a good job of getting that squad ready to go week in and week out. And, he'll have to do it these last 2 weeks.
One of the teams they played tough was Indiana. We head to Bloomington next, where IU tried to remain unbeaten as they hosted Wisconsin.
Omar Cooper splits to the far side. Holden stays as the wide out to the near side. Man in motion is EJ. Back to those Fernando. He has time. He throws the football. Caught. Riley Nowakowski down to the 10. Down to the 5.
Don Fisher on Learfield. Wisconsin is playing better, but not today. IU wins at 31-7.
Nowakowski used to be a Badger, and Charlie Becker with another good receiving game as Indiana once more played without Elijah Surratt, and their good thing just keeps rolling on.
Indiana had a tough first half. It was close. I think it was 10-7 at halftime, but they were able to put it together. I think Mendoza had like 92% completion percentage. So, he wasn't
30
missing.
TDs on a year.
Yeah. No,
Was they like 24 out of 26 or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's, highly efficient.
Indiana has been tested the last couple of weeks, Coach Cooper, but they just continue to respond. You have to be impressed with Coach Signetti is doing there.
Got very, very, very impressed. Not only doing a great job coaching, they got some pretty good players over there now.
Friday night, Oregon played host to Minnesota.
It's going to be a pistol look with Whittington lined up right behind Moore. And the snap given to Whittington up the middle. Busts through for a quick 3. Moore, 5, 10, 11, 12. On his feet. He's going to score. Whittington comes out of a pile and scores.
That was an unbelievable run. Jerry Allen on Learfield. Way too much Ducks for Minnesota. Oregon wins 42-13.
They pretty much took care of this in the first quarter with the start they got off to. And if it weren't for Julian Sand, if it weren't for Fernando Mendoza, you might hear people talking a little more about Dante Moore, the way he's played quarterback out there.
Completed 90% of his passes, just under Mendoza. So he was very efficient against, the Minnesota. And Minnesota is a good team at home. Traveling on the road, they haven't been as good.
28-6 at halftime. They put them away early.
To Seattle next, where Washington welcomed in Purdue.
Williams will hand it off. Jordan Washington breaks a tackle and off he goes. 40, 50 up the right sideline. Turn on those Jets. He's gone. Touchdown. Jordan Washington, 68 yards. The longest run in his young career.
Tony Castricone on Learfield. Huskies big over the Boilers. 49-13.
And Washington did that without Jonah Coleman playing, and they were really able to get some big plays from receivers other than their big threats. And, here's the issue with this. Purdue's back to number 1 in the AP basketball poll. They're waiting to get back to the basketball schedule.
Not much better at Purdue than last year when they got rid of Ryan Walters, so I know that had to be emotional going against Ryan Walters, who's now working for Washington. But the tight end, Decker DeGraff, had 5 catches for 91 yards in that game, and that was just a little bit of difference. You're right with Jonah Coleman. They had some other guys step up running the football.
Coach Cooper, are you seeing any improvement out of Purdue at all?
No.
0-8 in the Big Ten.
No, I'm not. In particular, I assume this game was played out in Seattle.
It was in Seattle.
Yeah.
It was all.
Probably raining a little bit. It's a long way out there. It got behind early. You talked about here. What was it? 28-7, something like that. 28-7, 28-0. At halftime,
Yeah, it was all Huskies on Saturday out in Seattle. Champaign is next, where Illinois hosted Maryland.
Beatty lines up to the left. Dixon is out there. Fagan with him in the backfield. Now they send Clement in motion. And the snap back from Kreutz. Here is Allmeyer. Throws it left. Got a man wide open. It is caught. Touchdown, Illinois. Hudson Clement. 23 yards. And you can't get any more wide open than he was.
Brian Barnhart's on Learfield. Illinois improves to 7-3. They beat Maryland 24-6.
The impressive thing is that when Illinois suffered the losses that kind of took them out of the playoff discussion, they didn't let that filter into the rest of the year. And Luke Altmaier continued to play at a high level.
Yeah, Maryland's got they're unbalanced right now. They throw 46 times in that ball game, just rushed 18 times. It's tough. If you got to have some receivers, you got to have pass blocking, and if you want to win games like that, and obviously they couldn't come up with it. Now, Illinois is just the opposite. They ran the ball a bunch. They ran 48 and only threw 25. So they leaned on their running game and, rushed for 225 yards in that game. So they were very, good at running the ball.
Illinois, in my opinion, is a team that you would not want to be playing this time of year.
They can make plays. Their defense.
Pretty tough. Yep. Pretty tough team.
Maryland, Coach Cooper. Maryland is a team, we see it every year. I mean, it's like they start decently. They look good. At the beginning of the year, Coach Loxley, you talk to him, he seems like a guy that knows what he's talking about. It's just, in your opinion, why have they not had success, once the calendar flips from September to October and now into November?
Well, that's a good question. I started to be smart again and tell you they need to recruit better, get better players, I guess. But You're exactly right. They don't finish very strong, particularly when they're playing on the road.
Final stop is East Lansing as Michigan State hosted Penn State.
Howard, Hudson, Ross, far side. Ruley, now it's Allen. Direct snap to Catron. Bounces left to the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown, Penn State. A fabulous run by Catron Allen, and the Nittany Lions bounce right back.
Steve Jones, Penn State Radio. Nittany Lions finally get their first Big Ten win, beating Sparty 28-10.
Running the ball the way everybody thought that Penn State would. And the other thing you could see just watching some of the highlights, now with a few games under his belt, you can see that Ethan Grunkemeyer is getting a little more comfortable at quarterback.
They didn't ask him to do anything. He threw 13 times. They ran the ball 50. So they knew what they wanted to do. They're going to lean on their offensive line, lean on their rushing attack. And that was enough to get it done against the Spartans. How about the Spartans, man? They haven't won a Big Ten game. They're 0-7. And, boy, if you would have asked me that a year ago after we played them, I thought Childs, they had some talent. Of course, he's nicked up a little bit. I thought that they would have the ability to grow this year, but they took a step backwards. And, we all know at Penn State, they got their first Big Ten victory.
Is it second-guessing, Coach Cooper, when you take a look at what Penn State's done this year? It's like they just ran the ball like that all year, that it might maybe not be in this position?
To start the year, I thought Penn State is the team we're going to have to beat to win this championship. And obviously this has been a very, very, very disappointing year for them.
Coming up this week, a really important game as far as the conference race. USC is at Oregon, Paul. And, again, it's really important because the loser's probably out of a Big Ten championship game consideration. Whoever survives is still in it.
And still in playoff consideration, very possibly, too. The loser probably out of the picture there.
The other one this weekend, Jim, is Michigan is at Maryland. I mean, we just talked about Maryland. Ohio State's been at Maryland that week before the game, and a couple of times it was like, boy, just hanging on for dear life.
Well, Mike Loxley got the vote of confidence from his AD and Jim Smith, so maybe that'll spark them knowing that he's going to be around, and they'll come up with a game plan. And Michigan has been hanging close in all these games. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
And here's the other thing. Jordan Marshall got hurt for Michigan in that Northwestern game. They're without the other running back. They say now
Haynes.
Without for the rest of the regular season. So it'll be interesting to see where Michigan is from a health standpoint.
Underwood can still run the ball.
Yeah, he can.
Those 5 turnovers are just like, save some of those for next week. Up next, we are scheduled to be joined by Ohio State coach Ryan Day as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag Buckeyes Care.
Hey, Ohio State fans, are you looking to score big with your home equity? Union Home Mortgage will help you unlock the value of your home and fund the promises you've made to yourself and your family. If you need to pay off debt, have home improvements, or whatever your family needs are, visit UHM.com and score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender and MLS number 2229.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Around here,
year, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corollas and Corolla hybrids. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $199 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. The home of the Bob and Tom Show. The Fan 2. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. The team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper in with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State takes care of UCLA 48-10. They will host Rutgers coming up on Saturday, 12 noon kick. We'll be on the air from Ohio Stadium beginning at 10:30 a.m. Joined for a few minutes now by Ohio State coach Ryan Day. His comments are presented by Kroger. And, Coach, I know you've been asked at your press conferences the last couple of weeks about the running game. How pleased were you with what your team was able to do on the ground Saturday, putting up that 222 at 6.7 per carry?
Well, we put a lot of work into it. We always do. So it was good to see some results. I think that the guys up front, really got better technically. That was really one of the focuses going into the week. And, the running backs getting downhill, first off, taking care of the ball. But then, the first 4 yards are for the team. And then after that, then go to work. And it was good to see them break some tackles, get to the second level. And then also, some really good effort, by the tight ends and receivers getting downfield and finishing their blocks.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk the last several weeks about the right guard spot. This is the first game that Gabe Van Sickle got an opportunity and played more than Tegra Sherbola. Did you like what you seen out of the right guard spot after that game?
Yeah, there was positives. Anytime someone's getting in there for the first time, there's some things that they got to kind of get the jitters out. But I think the more he settles down, the more you can see the talent. He can really bend. He's strong, powerful, can identify what's going on well, moves his feet well in protection. So I think he's got to take that as a good start and keep building from there. But you can see the talent, you can see the potential.
Coach, if you would, relive for some of us what the excitement was like on the sideline during that kick return for the touchdown, and also talk about all of the other people who were involved in helping set that up for Lorenzo Styles to take it to the house.
Yeah, we saw some things on film that we felt like we could take advantage of going back to the field, and Lorenzo certainly has the speed to do that, and so we don't really haven't anyways had a lot of opportunities, and so wanted to really take advantage of the opportunity if it arose, and the first one didn't, and then the second one, it was just great effort on the play. First off, the double team by Jelani and Miles was excellent, and then they really took care of their guy, and then Miles came off of it and blocked the kicker afterwards, so that was really well done. And then Ryan Radzitsky and David Adolph, just unbelievable on their double team. Leroy Roker, Joey Velasquez, just great. I mean, really, really clean. It's hard to get a kickoff return to be that clean. And there's a lot of guys involved with it, did a really big time job. Brandon Ennis on the edge, and then Lorenzo, had conviction coming out of there. And so it was great to see all the hard work pay off, and you could see it with the guys celebrating and how the sideline reacted.
Coach, my question there, it seems like every game I watch over the weekend, more and more games are won or lost by a field goal, okay? I watched you practice one day. You got working on putting your field goal kicker under pressure. I think he had to make all 5 of them from, 45, 50 yards. If he misses one of them, the whole team had to run. Is that you still doing that? Are you still trying to put a lot of pressure on him during practice, during the week? Get him ready to win a game with a field goal.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we try to find different ways to put pressure, on everybody, but certainly for Jaden, it's one thing to stand out in the driving range and drive the ball for about a half an hour till you get on that first tee. And then at that point, everyone's watching. You better make that first drive down the middle of the fairway. And so we try to put a little pressure on them, make it hard. And so, those guys, we try to bring them over from the sideline, run them on the field like it's a Mayday situation. We've had some windy days, and so that's been good to see him kind of react to that. We kick into the wind with the wind. So, we know, like you said, it's going to come down to a game will come down to a field goal, and we got to execute in that moment.
If you make it, you win the game. If you don't, it's tough luck.
No, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Coach, last week you talked about at the press conference on Tuesday that you were going to raise the champions level from 80% to 83%. How did that affect, and how many guys did you have grayed out as champions invited to dinner on Sunday night?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact number, but, there was, I think, maybe 6 or 7 on offense and more on defense. And it was good to see. I mean, it's hard to grade out as an offensive lineman, closer to 90%, which is, what some of our guys did. And same thing on defense. It's just not easy to do. But what we're going and what we're doing, we have to do that. And so the coaches have been critical with technique. They've been critical with effort to making sure that, we're playing our best football down the stretch. So, we up that because that's the way it's going to be, man. We got to be on our game. It could come down to one play. So, even if somebody maybe misses being a champion by a play or two, hopefully they realize that, it could be the play that makes or breaks a game down the road.
As you get ready for this week's game, does it help everybody's focus just with the familiarity with Coach Schiano and knowing what he's going to do to get a team ready?
Well, a lot of the guys on the staff now, it's been a few years, so I think some of the guys do know Coach Schiano, and but I think a lot of them don't. So it's a little bit more of just like a regular week, I think, for all of us. I definitely have some familiarity with the way he does things and his defense, and Tyler Bowen has worked with their offensive coordinator before. And then, certainly we know that they're very good on special teams. So, we need to have a great week of work. They're coming off of a bye week, so they'll be all loaded for bear, ready to go, and have some stuff up their sleeve. And so we got to be ready to respond.
Coach, any updates on the guys that didn't play or got dinged up a little bit in that ball game?
No, no real updates. We did have a good Sunday in terms of guys coming in. It was positive in there. There was nothing that was worse coming out, but we'll get a better idea once we get in here Tuesday and get to work on the field.
Coach, going in before you even decide whether you're going to win, whether you're going to get the ball or not. If you win the toss, you're going to receive or you're going to kick off.
Yeah, so for the most part, we'll defer and really try to win that middle eight. That's sort of what we believe in. But there are times where, we want to set the tone based on our opponent, and start with the ball. But the majority of the time you'll see us defer.
Coach, you played Max Clare a lot. You were in one tight end a lot. Was that to get those extra young guys, wide receivers in there with Carnell and Jeremiah being out to give those guys some opportunities to work with Giolini in a game-like setting? That's exactly right. Yeah, we were trying to get as many guys reps as we can and watch them work through some of their growing pains. And, I think it's important for them. Everybody wants to get in the game, and so they deserve to. They've worked hard to get to that point, and now they have some film that they can go back and look at some of the things they did well and what they need to improve on. And so that was exactly what happened in that game. And, we need those guys to step up in a big way, and we need everybody to step up. But now, some of these guys were on film. They, did some good things, did some things that they need to get better at. But we know that, in order to grade out here, you got to be at 83%. The expectation's very high. And so it was good to see them get in the game. Hopefully they'll play through some of those early mistakes and step up next week.
Well, we modeled this show after you, Coach, so we had to raise Lachey and Keel's grade up to 83% as well, just so you know, okay?
How'd they grade? How'd they do?
We got some work to do, okay?
It's a tough grader.
The idea of C's get degrees don't work in Ohio State.
Yeah, that's right.
Amen to that.
Got some laps to run, yeah.
Coach, we'll see you Thursday for your radio show, okay?
See you guys.
Coach's comments presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. Up next, we will hit the red zone. Longtime Ohio State reporter Tim May will join us as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
American Electric Power is a proud sponsor of Buckeyes Care.
Hi, I'm Janelle Coleman with American Electric Power. At AEP, we're proud to support our communities, powering progress and creating opportunities every day. Our partnership with Buckeyes Care reflects a shared commitment to uplifting Central Ohio through service, connection, and care. Together, we are building a brighter future for everyone we serve.
You're listening to The Fan 2 in Columbus. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show, presented by Burger King, where you rule with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper in with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. For every Buckeye touchdown scored this season, the Heartland Bank Community Foundation will make a donation to the USO of Central and Southern Ohio, benefiting our active duty military personnel and their families. For more information or to support our troops, go to usocso.org and be the force behind the forces.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Joined for a few minutes now by longtime Ohio State reporter Tim May. And Tim, we asked this earlier in the show, not to take anything for granted, because I know Ohio State was heavy favorites, but how impressive is it to see Ohio State to continue to just take care of business, especially on a day where we saw some top teams either being taken to the brink or beaten?
Oh, it's quite impressive. I mean, the way Ryan Day and his staff, but especially Ryan Day at the front, are guiding this team to these almost workmanlike, methodical victories. And, yeah, they had some hiccups in that game without a doubt, especially, he wanted to win that middle eight. And, boy, did he win the first half of that at the end of the first half, right, guys?
Yeah.
With the touchdown and then getting the ball back and getting that field goal. And you're going, wow, and they're getting the ball back next. And it was almost like, obviously Jeremiah Smith didn't play in the second half at all, but Julian Sayin and those other receivers spent those first two possessions getting on the right page, because they on a few of those plays they were not. But as Ryan Day alluded to earlier, that's invaluable experience, going for the ball. I mean, you take for granted what Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith bring to the fore, and one of those things is an aggressive move to the ball almost any time it's thrown their way, whether they're running a dig route, a crossing route underneath, over the middle and stuff. And you saw some guys maybe fall short in that regard, but that I'm sure was reinforced on video. But it's funny when you can win 48-10 and still have things that you can go to and work with. It just bodes well for the team, in my opinion.
Not that they haven't taken care of mobile quarterbacks, but were you not curious, Tim, to see what the challenge of Nico Iamaleava and the way he had been running the football would present to Ohio State?
As I said on the tailgate show, Paul, I was interested in seeing him play when he's thawed out, because you've heard me say this before. You take him off the field for Tennessee last year in December, 11 months ago, and boy, were they a weak sister, because hardly anybody else showed up to play on the offensive side of the ball, if you remember correctly. And but he did. I mean, he kept them sort of a little bit in the game, although it was fleeting by every time a minute ticked off, they were farther behind, it seemed like. But yeah, you were very, very curious. And then on top of it, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And the grain of salt is that was that kid, the kid who started. That was his first start ever, first passes he threw ever. And they had some success on a couple of plays, as you guys watched, and especially ran that little mesh route or cross route there that got them their touchdown when Devin Sanchez got hung up in the cross there. So they could do some things, but they just couldn't do anywhere near enough. But that was great experience for them going against basically the nation's best defense. But yes, everybody for like 5-6 months has been champing at the bit to see Nico Iamaleava come back into the horseshoe.
Yeah, you wonder, because there's nothing that leaked about that all week long about being concussed. And, you wonder if he had a little PTSD from last year's game, from Cody Simon knocking him out. And I think I'm going to no-mas this one, I'm done. And, that also UCLA, they could done better in their first 9 games getting their backup quarterback in there to have a little bit of a break, have a little bit of opportunity. But, yeah, to me, that seemed like I was surprised.
Yeah, well, Iamaleava did play in the game, so they did do that.
Yeah, mad,
but not the Iamaleava. But you grew up, you played in the realm when there was no such thing as concussions. It was just, hey, get back in there, give a guy some smelling salts. The way it was explained by the coach made sense to me, Coach Skipper, is that he got banged up in that game against Nebraska, but as the first couple of days went on after that, he was showing signs of digression, not progression, in terms of getting, in terms of getting well from that. And so, let's face it. I mean, I know they didn't think this probably, but you got bigger fish to fry than Ohio State, who you really did have much of a shot at to begin with, right? And I can understand erring on the side of caution, getting a guy back in there, especially after a head bump.
Tim May, real quickly, we got 30 seconds. CFP rankings tomorrow. Who will the highest 3-loss team be, and where will they be ranked, in your opinion?
The highest 3-loss team?
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be somebody from oh my God, it's the greatest conference since they started having conferences, the Southeastern Conference. And I'm sure they're going to say Texas because of who they've lost to, the number one team in the country, and then Georgia, you know what I mean? So I'm sure it will be Texas. But I'm telling you, there's 2 Big Ten teams trying to make a push to be in a 2-loss team. When push comes to shove, it's going to be fun to watch.
Tim May, we always appreciate your time. We'll see you later in the week, okay?
Hey, tell Coach Cooper I said hi. I know he wanted to ask me something.
He was itching. It was going to be a good one, too.
I was going to ask you about Alabama here.
Again, if you're listening here in Columbus, we'll be breaking away at the top of the hour for hockey on our FM station, 97.1 The Fan. You can still listen to this show on 1460 AM, The Fan, too. Again, in Columbus only. Everyone else across the state, stay right where you are. Up next, our Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Player of the Week Award, our American Dairy Association Middies top high school performances, and our weekly whip around the state. All that and more, hour 2 here on Buckeye Roundtable on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Paul Keels here, voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeye MVP membership upgrade for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys, or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax title and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
You're listening to The Fan 2, WBNS AM Columbus, WBNS HD2 Columbus, home of the Bob and Tom Show.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little you are, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime. You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper in with us tonight. I'm Skip Mossick. Saturday, Ohio State will host Rutgers. We'll have more on that coming up. But right now, it is time to talk some high school football.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each Roundtable show, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. And tonight's recipient is senior quarterback Ryan Taylor from Rocky River High School. Friday night, Taylor was 20 of 27 passing, 301 yards, 3 touchdowns, and added an additional 183 on the ground and 3 more touchdowns. That's 484 total yards on the night, 6 touchdowns as Rocky River defeated Medina Buckeye 48-41. So good game there. The Pirates are coached by Josh Wells. They're 11-2 and will face Toledo Central Catholic in the Division III Region 10 final Friday night in Clyde. Again, congratulations to Ryan Taylor from Rocky River High School, the recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's American Dairy Association Mideast top performers and our whip around the state.
We love this time of year, and I tell you what, playoff football is great down to the regional finals. Huge night there for the kid from Rocky River, but that was not the only big night on Friday.
No, big one here in Delaware County. Olentangy Orange running back Lucas Fickle had 21 carries for 129 yards and a pair of touchdowns as Orange defeated Olentangy Liberty 21-17.
Steubenville place kicker Cole Bowers kicked a school record 47-yard field goal as time expired, leading the Big Red to a 17-14 comeback win at Licking Valley.
A lot of good quarterbacks this year, guys. I got one. Waterston quarterback Drew Belisari. He threw a pair of touchdown passes. He scored on a 54-yard quarterback keeper. Waterston beat Tri-Valley 48-6.
Massillon running back Xavier Owens ran for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns, helping Massillon win at DeSales 48-14.
Cincinnati Anderson quarterback Owen Scalf, 22 of 28 passing, 281 yards and a touchdown, added 74 yards on the ground, and another scores Anderson beat LaSalle 35-28.
Highland quarterback Grady Gibb, he was 8 out of 9 passing, 217 yards for 4 touchdowns. He also rushed for 61 yards and 2 more scores. Highland blanked North Ridgeville 48-0.
Glenville linebacker and OSU commit Sincere Johnson had 25 tackles, 25 tackles and a pair of sacks as Glenville defeated Lake Catholic 14-3.
Elder quarterback Caden Eastep, 4 touchdowns on the night, 3 passing, another rushing. And also threw for a pair of 2-point conversions as Elder nipped Princeton 32-30.
A big wallet running back, Nolan Burley. He had 23 carries for 208 yards, 4 touchdowns. Big wallet rolled past Canal Winchester 35-0.
North Union quarterback Nicholas Hajar was 10 of 13 passing for 227 yards and a pair of touchdowns, while rushing for 58 yards and 2 more scores as North Union defeated Carlisle 40-36.
Metter linebacker Carson Wolk had 14 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a game-sealing interception as Metter held off Ken McKinley 25-24.
Akron-Hoban quarterback Nick Kinsey was 14 out of 17 for 189 yards passing. He scored on the quarterback keeper. Hoban beat Hudson 35-3.
All right, guys, great job. We begin now our weekly whip around the state. We'll start in Northwest Ohio. A big night, both on the ground and in the air. Here's WNDH's Dave Kleck.
In Liberty Center's regional win over Liberty Benton, senior running back Thomas Moeller turned in quite a performance. 96 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and a 55-yard punt return score. And the Leipzig Vikings, led by sophomore quarterback Mark Kirkendall, throwing for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, in a win over Pandora Gilboa. Both are moving on to regional championships. Leipzig to face Columbus Grove and Liberty Center to battle Genoa. From WNDH in Napoleon, I'm Dave Kleck.
Thank you, Dave. Some great defense in Logan County. Here's WPKO's Chad Wilkinson.
The Indian Lake Lakers punched their ticket to the regional final for the second consecutive season with a convincing 31-14 victory over the Marymount Warriors out of Cincinnati. Junior quarterback Brady Galladay threw for 149 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 109 yards and another score. The Lakers defense forced 3 turnovers. Gavin Henry had 2 of those. He intercepted a pass. He also picked up a fumble and ran it back 46 yards for a touchdown. The regional final this Friday night will feature 2 teams out of the Central Buckeye Conference when the 10-2 Lakers will take on the 9-4 North Union Wildcats. From 98.3 WPKO in Bellefontaine, I'm Chad Wilkinson.
Southern Ohio, we know how important a strong ground game is this time of year. Here's WNXT's Mark Williams.
The Wheelersburg Pirates made it 4 for 4 against Barnesville in postseason play, downing the Shamrocks 36-13 Friday night. The Pirates ground out 254 yards rushing, with senior quarterback Braylon Rucker leading the way with 123 yards on the ground on 15 carries and scoring a pair of touchdowns. Fellow senior halfback Elijah Brown added 94 yards on 17 carries with a score. The undefeated Pirates advanced to face the undefeated Nelsonville York Buckeyes Friday night at Hamilton Township High School for the Division V Region 19 Championship. Mark Williams, WNXT Radio, Portsmouth.
Record-setting night in Tuscarawas County as we hear from WJER's Bill Hammerstrom.
Indian Valley senior Grady Kinsey became the OHSAA all-time career rushing touchdown leader in his team's 47-28 win over Jonathan Alder on Friday. Kinsey rushed for 304 yards and 6 touchdowns. That gives him 128 career rushing touchdowns, and he is also tied for the most career total touchdowns with 133. He'll get a chance to add to that on Friday when the Braves play the region's top seed New Lexington in Coshocton as Indian Valley tries to defend its Division IV state championship. For WJER in Dover, I'm Bill Hammerstrom.
A couple of big nights on the ground to Knox County. Here's WMVO's Tyler Mathias.
Colonel Crawford came into Centerburg Friday night and knocked off the top-seeded Trojans 42-13 in the Division VI Region 23 regional semifinal. Connor McMichael had a monster night, rushing for 201 yards on 23 carries. Had 72 yards receiving. McMichael got a 58-yard touchdown pass. He had touchdown runs of 2 and 21 yards in the win. The Eagles will take on West Jefferson in the regional final Friday at Highland. Meanwhile, Danville back in the regional final in Division 7 for a 4th straight season, following a 19-14 win against Waterford on the road Friday. The Blue Devils play Hillsdale at Ridgewood Friday night. Reporting from WQIO and WMVO at Alberta, I'm Tyler Mathias.
Regional finals. Thanks to all of our great affiliates for the reports all season long. They'll continue through the state championship games. Regional finals, awesome time of year, Jim, as teams try to advance. Love those Thanksgiving Day practices that so few teams get to experience.
No, that's what it's all about this time of the year. The grade 8, and you get the Final Four, and then the final games, up in Canton. So it is. This is what it's all about this time of the year. And My high school, St. Henry's, got a shot.
And then there was one.
Yeah.
And there was one because one of our schools went out. Moeller lost to St. Xavier, but a great year for Coach Bart Bathiani and the Moeller Crusaders.
Yeah, they got Marion Local, who's got a 76-game win streak. It's the longest in America. Their last loss was in 2020, and I think that was a state final game. So St. Henry's going to have to play their most physical game of their lives.
Regular season matchup was a tight game, was it not?
It was a touchdown, separated the two. So, Coach, see what they play in Wapakoneta, you know, home of the Redskins. So hopefully.
Upper Arlington, Coach Cooper, a tough loss at Pick Central, but a good year for the Golden Bears.
They had a very, very good year, did a great job coaching, but they lost a tough ball game by 1 point.
Some shakeup in the top 25 this past weekend and some close calls. We will discuss after further review. As soon as I read this commercial that I was supposed to read, our top performers from around the state was presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk has 8 grams of protein with the power to fuel everyone, including Ohio State quarterback Tavian St. Clair. He's built like a Buckeye, and you can be too. Learn more at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/built-like-a-Buckeye. We will discuss the top 25 after further review. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans, it's Polk Heels for Window Nation. Columbus, did you know you can get 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game if you replace all the windows in your home with Window Nation? This month, they're offering 50% off all window styles, plus no payments for 2 whole years. That's right, no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest until 2027. Get big savings, plus 1-day installation with Window Nation, a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Or lease a new gas-powered RAV4 LE for $289 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This is the home of the Buckeyes, the Fan Tune. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey. Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mossick. Join Coach Ryan Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down each week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day, presented by Huntington Bank, airs game day Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and statewide on OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Buckeye Roundtable.
Previous play is under further review.
After further review.
Run to the right side, run into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. We are tied. E.J. Smith, 99-yard drive.
An uninterrupted Andrew Monaco on Learfield. A&M 28 unanswered in the second half to pull an amazing comeback over South Carolina. Aggies with the win, 31-30.
You know, Aggies quarterback Marcel Reed kept both teams in the game. He threw 2 interceptions, but then threw 3 touchdowns for his own team, passed for 439 yards, and even after the Aggies got up by a point, they still goofed around and almost let the Gamecocks win the game.
Yeah, Reed was 16 of 20 in that second half. I think he completed 6 passes in that first half and 2 to the other team. But they got a passing attack, not much of a rushing attack. Just ran for 64 yards in that game. And, boy, all South Carolina had to do was get one drive in that second half for points, and they couldn't come up with it.
Somebody made some great halftime adjustments.
Yes. And someone did not. I mean, have you ever been on the receiving end of that where you just blow a huge lead like that?
No,
I know you had some comebacks.
No, but never. I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody getting
27 points.
Yeah.
And don't admit to it if it happened.
Exactly.
There it is. No.
I don't remember that, no.
To Tuscaloosa next. Number 4, Alabama hosted number 11, Oklahoma.
Man in motion is Hill. There's the snap. Quick throw across the middle. Intercepted. Eli Bowen's got it 20. On the return 30. Only one man to beat. He's at midfield. It's a race. There goes Bowen. 30. Cuts near side. Still on his feet. 20. At the 10. They're not going to get him. Pick 6. They did it to him again. Pick 6. This time Eli Bowen. Touchdown Sooners. Oh, mama.
Toby Rowland on Learfield. Sooners stay alive in the CFP. They beat Bama in Alabama, in Tuscaloosa, 23-21.
Who would have thought that Oklahoma could have gone to Tuscaloosa, get outgained, and win the football game? But their defense that Brent Venables is known for is what really kind of put that thing into the win column for him.
Oklahoma had 212 yards of offense in that game, and they needed every one of those yards. On the other hand, I think Alabama had 400 and some yards in that game, and couldn't come up with a win, so they probably want to fire the coach.
Good move by that Oklahoma coach to go back and start coaching defense.
Yes,
though.
exactly.
They are really good on defense.
Yes.
Alabama, they're right in that conundrum right now with everybody else. Still football to be played, but boy, you just wonder. That's why I asked Tim May as far as a 3-loss team.
Could be a repeat movie.
Yeah. Another top matchup in the SEC had Georgia hosting Texas.
Stockton out of the shotgun, snap it back to Gunner, fakes the pitch, stands in the pocket, throws wide open. Humphreys caught at the 8, into the end zone. Touchdown, London Humphreys.
Scott Howard on Learfield. Georgia rolls the Longhorns 35-10.
Stockton 4 touchdown passes, and people still want to get on the Texas bandwagon and think they might slip in, but this Georgia team, maybe the most under-discussed Georgia team we've heard about in the last few years.
23 yards rushing for Texas. Can you believe that?
I mean,
that's got to be an all-time low for Texas. And, Arch Manning threw the ball 43 times in that game and, completed 27. They asked him to do a lot in that game, but, you're down, I understand, and you got to throw the football or try to get it back into it. But Georgia just had too much.
Great win by Georgia. Great win by Georgia.
We have mentioned the politicking has begun, and it's going to continue, especially on a certain 4-letter network. It's going to be there. One more from the SEC. Ole Miss keeps playing with fire. Would they get burned by Florida?
Lacey's in formation to take a direct snap from the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. There's the snap. He's going to run it left side. He gets to the goal line. He lands on the plane. It's a touchdown. The Rebels are going to win this one. 10-1.
David Kellum on Learfield again. Ole Miss, they keep it interesting. They win it 14 in the fourth quarter to beat Florida 34-24.
And Lacey rushed for over 200 yards. Ole Miss doing this despite all the distractions. We'll talk about their head coach. By the way, there were some friends, some people that some of us in this room know who went down to that game, and they were at a tailgate party where they were serving gator.
Oh, man. Barbecued gator, huh? I guess.
Tastes like
I got pictures yesterday of it.
Tastes like chicken, I guess.
Exactly.
Ole Miss, though, coach, is a team that, boy, I mean, they keep winning, but boy, it's these are close games. They're, like I said, they're playing with fire.
The coach has done a great job. He's doing a great job at Ole Miss. He much better job than he did those other schools he coached at.
There were so many hard.
And he might end up in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
To the ACC, Georgia Tech was at Boston College.
Jet sweep motion by Alley, takes it, bending left, breaks a tackle 50, sprinting down the sideline 35, 30, breaks another tackle 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Jordan Allen, the freshman, right when you need it, and Georgia Tech regains the lead.
Andy Demetra, Georgia Tech Network Yellow Jackets survive at Boston College, 36-34.
And Haynes King continues to play very well at quarterback, over 370 yards passing. And, you know, there's all of this thought that the ACC could be in turmoil and they could muddy up the waters. Georgia Tech could kind of answer the whole damn thing.
They win, but, they should beat Boston College, but better than that, though.
Well, Boston College hasn't won an ACC game yet. They're 1-10. Coach O'Brien is struggling there. I wonder if they'll keep him after this year.
Not officially an ACC game, but Pittsburgh hosted Notre Dame.
Loves the back, gets the carry, stutter steps in the hole, now spins across the 50, now he's on the move, over the 40, 30, 20, 10, he's going to go all the way to the house. It's another highlight reel run for Jeremiah Love, 56-yard touchdown, and it takes your breath away.
Tony Simeone, who we saw yesterday at the Shot, voice of the Irish on the Irish Network. Notre Dame continues to cruise, though. They beat Pitt 37-15.
You know, if they'd handed the ball to Love like that in week one, they'd have one less loss.
Yeah, you're right. Jeremiah Love is getting some Heisman considerations. He's going to be invited to New York, I think, by the time it's all said and done. Every week it seems like he has a big highlight run like that and makes some plays. And, you know, this one was for 56 and into the end zone.
You know, Coach Cooper, at the beginning of the year, after the first two games, everybody was counting Notre Dame out, and they just keep rolling one after another right now.
Doing a good job coaching, and Love, in my opinion, and no question, is probably the best running back in college football.
Yeah. Yep. To the Big 12, they're trying to get things sorted out as well. One team that just won't go away is Utah. Saturday, the Utes were at Baylor.
In the backfield, now they're going to bring a man in motion across the formation. Bird's going to keep it. He's through a whole 40. There he goes, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. It's a foot race, and they're not going to get him. It's a touchdown for Bird Ficklin. What a run by Ficklin. 67 yards. He broke through the line, and nobody touched him.
Bill Riley, Utah Network. Utes have been putting up some points of late. They win big at Baylor, 55-28.
Two running backs over 100 yards in that game. Remember what that was like when Ohio State had backs doing that, Jim?
They had 3 runs of 60 or more yards for touchdowns, in that game. That's incredible. Where is the defense for the Bears?
And Coach Cooper, you look at the Big 12, you think Texas Tech is kind of right there. You take a look, you have BYU right there, but teams like Utah just continue to lurk, and they're right on their heels.
Don't count Utah out. They seem to be there every year.
Final stop, fellas. We're going to go to Annapolis as Navy hosted number 24 South Florida.
Woodson in a shotgun look. On the snap, he keeps it right side. He's got running room. 40, 45 midfield. Woodson down this near sideline, 35, 30. In a race, he's going to win it. 10, 5, touchdown. 64 yards for Braxton Woodson.
Keenan Reynolds, Navy Network. Navy is 6-1 in the American, and just keep an eye on that.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet they were partying like crazy in Ego Alley after that game, where they drive all their yachts up and down in downtown Indianapolis. Annapolis.
It's the same, right?
Not quite. But just think about having the Service Academy in the playoff field. Wouldn't that be kind of a neat thing, unless you have to practice for them and get ready for all of their stuff?
I think it'd be fun to play a game in Annapolis.
Sure.
It was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and then they moved it to Baltimore, home of the Ravens. But no, the midshipmen are playing well. And isn't that quarterback from Hilliard?
That was the guy. Horvath is who that kid replaced and went in there. He had 2 long runs.
Yeah, he did. He really stepped up and played well. But yeah, the midshipmen are 6-1 in their conference right now, and if they can take care of business these last couple of weeks, that would be nice if they did make the playoffs.
We've had this conversation before about the Army-Navy game. I mean, what happens if they're still in the conversation and
they have to play
a game? Yeah.
I know. That's the crazy. I mean, it's the neat part that game sits all by itself, but it's so late after everything else. Maybe it would tie the hands of the committee for a little bit.
Coach Cooper, how'd you do career-wise against the service academies?
I've never played them.
Never.
So we're undefeated. They never beat us. So.
No. This week, fellas, we mentioned.
I'm sorry, but we played the Air Force Academy.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's why I asked the question.
We beat the Air Force Academy every year we played up there. Every year.
Top 25 matchups. Only a couple of them this week, guys. And that's right now, depending on what happens with the polls. We mentioned USC, Oregon, probably the top game in the nation this week. Also, Cincinnati plays host to BYU.
That could be interesting.
UC's they've kind of muddied their own waters, but they could really play spoiler. BYU sitting there tied for the lead.
Yeah, and just make the Big 12 even messier than it already is.
Is that home or away for Cincinnati?
That's at Nippert.
That's at Cincinnati on Saturday evening. Absolutely. Ooh. Some of us have to drive down there after our game for you on Saturday. Yes, senior night. Yes, indeed. Up next, again, plenty to get into. Our Elk and Elk Too Deep report, and also we will hit the sidelines. Dom Taberry in for Tyler Danberg this week. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Donato's is bringing you huge savings on a large pizza. For a limited time, get any large one-topping Donato's pizza for just $10.99 when you order online and pick it up. That's right, just $10.99. I'm going with that pepperoni, but hey, you pick your favorite topping. Then pick up your large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 when you order online using promo code PICKUP. That's promo code PICKUP. Pick up your Donato's and save today.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Columbus is home of the Jim Rome Show, the Fan Zoo. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King, where you rule. With Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mossick. Be sure to check out the final Buckeye Game Day concert presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer this week outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week this season featured a different artist on stage 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board, book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Buckeyes and beat cancer.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
And, Jim, we talked about the receivers on that two deep on Saturday before the game. Even though Jeremiah Smith still played, bumped up a little bit, but still good to see some of the others on that two deep really working their way up and contributing.
Yeah, and you had Quincy Porter back. He missed a Purdue game, so it was good to see him get some action, get his feet wet. Mylan Graham, stepped up and made some plays, and happy for Bryson Rogers. He got his first touchdown in his career. He has 6 receptions now for the season. So, I talked to Coach Day about that earlier. He wanted to see those guys with his starting quarterback. And then I thought, Lincoln Keenholz came in and did a good job. It was good to see him get some playing time because you just never know. We saw Julian saying he looked like he got his left ankle rolled up a little bit in that game, and you're like, uh-oh. And then, but he ended up being fine and being okay, so that was good news. But, yeah, those young receivers are stepping up and getting some things done, and you just never know. And then also, that kind of made Brandon Ennis the number one guy, the vet guy. So he was able to step up and have one of his better ball games.
Our two-deep report was presented by the injury lawyers at Elk and Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
For Buckeye Roundtables from the Sidelines Report on the Ohio State Sports Network.
Well, no doubt one of the highlights Saturday was the Lorenzo Styles 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Afterwards, Styles with our Dom Taberi.
What a return, 100 yards. What did you see when you took that ball?
I already knew I was going to score the touchdown just because of the commitment of the guys on that unit. They put in a lot of work. And just very blessed to have the opportunity. They made my job easy. I just ran in green grass, and everyone did their job, so it's a blessing.
Yeah, you made that little cut, and then it just opened up, and you shot out of that like a rocket.
Yeah, I just got to credit to all my teammates. And really Coach Nate Ebner. He's been working with us on special teams, specifically KOR, and then Coach Keys as well. So they did a great job of the construction of that, and we put it on the field today.
When did you know you were going to go all the way?
When I touched the ball. I told myself if I catch this ball, I'm taking it to the house. So I knew when I was going to touch the ball. I talked to my teammates about it. They believed in it too, so that just made it even easier.
You guys get a 48-10 win. It is now a one-game home season, and then the big one. Just your thoughts. This season's kind of flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah, the kick return reminded me of this. It's really not about the plays necessarily on the field. That we do have a job to do, but it's about the people in the company. So having the great company, having the great coaches, and the camaraderie we have as a team, it's a blessing to be a part of Ohio State. We got to keep moving forward.
What did everybody say to you when you got off? The sidelines was, I know everybody was mad that they scored, and then boom, you do that.
Yeah, we had to go put one back in the end zone, but it felt great. It felt great to celebrate with my teammates, but specifically my brother. Having him here, being at Ohio State, and seeing my mom and my dad right there in the front row was great.
You mentioned family. That was one image I remember catching was the two brothers there with each other after that play. It's pretty cool to see down there on the sideline.
I bet it was. Certainly when you think about how rare those kind of plays are, and how close some of them end up being to going all of the way. And then we even saw at Purdue, the one long run that gets called back because of a penalty. And the first thing I was looking at when it went all the way the other way, as soon as I saw him get in the end zone, immediately looked the other way to make sure there was no flags out there.
Made a good move transferring in here from Notre Dame.
Sure did.
Right?
You saw some of that wide receiver speed.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's already graduated.
Yes.
We played 10 games, and that's only our 4th return. Brandon Ennis had 3. That was Lorenzo's first. So it's kind of like playing golf and hitting a hole in one your first outing, right?
I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got this figured out. So, obviously that's on film now. Everybody will see it. So they're going to all want to kick that ball out of the end zone to not give him an opportunity to return it. But you're right, Skip, to see him celebrate with his brother, his family. Obviously, Lorenzo, his father, played here at Ohio State, too. That has to be a great moment, and they'll have that forever.
Coming up, our Insiders Access. Joey Kaufman of the Columbus Dispatch will join us. That is next as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Whatever happens today, plan to conquer it with a fresh cup of True Brew coffee. True North Convenience Store's True Brew coffee is a hot, flavorful gourmet blend created from coffee beans from around the world. Our brew is truly perfect for any time of the day. During October and November, enter for a chance to win free coffee for a year. Check the True Rewards app for details or find the mobile app in your favorite app store. Offer valid October 7th through December 1st. True North Convenience Stores. Fast, friendly, clean.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on any remaining new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models, with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get Toyota Care, 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The home of the Bob and Tom Show, the Fan 2. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show, presented by Burger King, where you rule, with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, Coach John Cooper. I'm Skip Mossick. Ohio State Athletics and Anduril have joined forces to recognize November as Military Appreciation Month. Join Buckeye fans across the state in thanking all former and current military members for their service. And Saturday, Ohio State limited UCLA to 2 of 2 scoring on trips inside the 20. This defensive summary is brought to you by Anduril, whose mission is to transform U.S. military capabilities through advanced technology. Anduril, an official sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye Roundtable Insiders.
Joined for a few minutes now by Joey Kaufman of the Columbus Dispatch. And Joey, we were just talking the last segment, taking us out about Lorenzo Styles' touchdown return. You watch as much college football as anyone. Do you like the kickoff rule as it is with, with so many touchbacks? It really limits any attempted returns.
It's funny you say that or point out my college football viewing, because I have to say the kickoff is almost something you never watch nowadays, because if you're at a game, you just don't really pay attention to it most of the time because there's not a whole lot of drama. I will confess, I did not even see Lorenzo Styles catch the ball in the end zone. It's late in the game, and then you start to see him running out. Oh, this could break loose. I think the drama is so often removed from the kickoff that you just don't really expect anything of note to happen, much less even go past the 25-yard line.
Joe, you had an article last week about UCLA, maybe leaving the Rose Bowl to go to SoFi Stadium. You used to work out in L.A. That's a lot closer to campus. Do you think that would be a good move if that does happen?
I think it could have some upside to it, to be honest, because SoFi Stadium is on the west side. It's a little closer to UCLA, but I still think there are going to be some difficulties no matter what stadium they're at as far as getting students to games, because even if it's in Inglewood versus Pasadena, you're still going to have to bus from campus to Westwood. I think probably the upside for SoFi, for UCLA, is that they're more luxury suites there, so you could really, I think, be able to maximize your revenues from a premium seating standpoint, and that's an athletic department that does need more money. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to result in all that much of a bigger turnout, but I think there's some revenue possibilities there, and maybe the attendance is a little better because it's a little more on the west side.
While we're on the subject of UCLA, Joey, any thoughts in your mind, number one, about possible coaching candidates, and number two, with all of the openings at premier name schools, do you think that means that other schools that might possibly be considering coaching changes might not?
As far as UCLA goes?
Yeah, well, as far as with schools like LSU, Florida, Penn State, et cetera, because the coaching pool is going to be drained so much.
Yeah, it's a deep pool of candidates. I do think UCLA is probably going to swim in a different pool than maybe the schools like LSU or Florida, where they're trying to maybe poach another sitting Power 4 coach. It seems like UCLA might try to go the Kirk Cignetti route and maybe bring somebody up from a G5 school or lower. There's been some buzz around maybe like Bob Chesney from James Madison for them. I think they could maybe go that route, sort of what Indiana did a couple of years ago, where you get somebody who's a well-traveled, well-established head coach, but maybe just not the flashier P4 name. That I think maybe is the way the Bruins could go.
Joey, I coached at UCLA a couple of years there, and we had some great teams, won the Rose Bowl, that kind of stuff. And a good friend of mine was back here this week. Now, he tells me that the Rose Bowl it's going to cost UCLA a lot of money if they don't play in the Rose Bowl. I'm talking about well, I don't know how. And they tell me also that UCLA doesn't have enough money now for the portal. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, but there's something wrong somewhere.
They would have to break the lease for the Rose Bowl, so they would owe certainly more than I could pay to leave.
All of us.
They better spend that money on the NIL and get some better players. What they better do.
Hey, but they're at least close to some good players because they are situated in a pretty fertile recruiting base. So I don't know what the NIL situation is that they have in the coffers.
Well, those good players are leaving and coming. One of them came here, our quarterback.
Carlsbad. Mm-hmm. Joey, when you look at, again, so this private equity deal that the Big Ten is going through now, that would really benefit a UCLA. They would allow them some money to get out of their lease and then, obviously upgrade maybe their facilities and things like that and have a little bit of reserve. So I'm sure they're in favor of that, and they're not getting a full share yet of their Big Ten revenue. I think that's still a couple years away before they're a full shared member of the Big Ten.
They have to pay Cal money, which is also just an unusual arrangement in that job, which I don't know how many analogous situations are like that in major college football where you're having to share revenue with another school in your university system. That is certainly probably not ideal for them by any means.
When you think about what Ohio State has done to this point, is there anything other than the obvious, Joey, that sticks out to you about why this team has been so consistent and won the games that they're expected to win the way they're expected to win them?
I mean, this has just been, I think, just a total dominant regular season from every phase of the game. I think even special teams is, I think, really improved in recent weeks. What we saw Saturday with the Lorenzo Styles Jr.'s kickoff return for a touchdown, and Jaden Fielding's been on the mark lately. Joey McGuire had a 50-plus yard punt. So there's just so few flaws in this team. I think it's going to really need to go into maybe a Big Ten title game against Indiana or a college football playoff to really, I think, play another team in its weight class.
Joe, have you heard anything about rumors for the Penn State job?
Nah, I mean, it seems like they want to make a splash. I mean, my thing with the Penn State job, I think it will be interesting I don't know who they'll end up hiring, but I think what's interesting about that job is between that job and the LSU job, it feels like it's going to totally reset the coaching salaries market. I remember a couple of years ago when Mel Tucker became the highest paid coach at $10 million in the Big Ten. That sort of reset the market, and Ryan Day is the leader in the Big Ten now. His salary, it feels like the Penn State job, whoever gets it is going to be in that $12 to $13 million range. That's kind of, I think, sort of another interesting subplot with that job.
Joey, last thing, we know the CFP noise is going to continue to build among the talking heads starting tomorrow night. Where will we start to see 3-loss teams like Texas now in those rankings?
I think they're going to – I mean, Texas should drop down in the teens. I'll be curious to see how Texas maybe compares to, say, a USC, which is a 2-loss Big Ten team and has a chance to win at Oregon this week and put themselves in the playoff conversation as well. It does feel like that high teen range is a lot more crowded this year with just the number of 2-3-loss teams who are really jockeying for bids. It's going to make, I think, the next couple of weeks pretty compelling.
Joey Kaufman of the Columbus Dispatch. Joey, we always appreciate your time. We'll touch base with you later in the week, okay?
Good to talk to you guys.
Again, Ohio State and Rutgers coming up on Saturday. We'll turn our attention to the Knights and break things down with some chalk talk as tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Are you thinking of consolidating your debt with a home equity loan? Union Home Mortgage wants you to know the average homeowner has over $200,000 of home equity available, and they can help you get access to your money quickly and easily. Go to UHM.com to get your cash estimate today. You'll score financial freedom with Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Union Home Mortgage Corp. is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Calling all tailgaters. Learn more about the heart and soul of Ohio State with Game Day Taste and Traditions, presented by the Ohio Beef Council and Weber Grills. Dive into the rich history, iconic beef recipes perfect for your tailgate at home or outside of the shoe, and cherished customs that make our Buckeye community unique. Get yours now and celebrate Game Day with the spirit of Ohio State athletics. Find your Game Day Taste and Traditions guide at Buckeye Game Day Fan Fest and participating retailers.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
American Electric Power is a proud sponsor of Buckeyes Care.
Hi, I'm Janelle Coleman with American Electric Power. At AEP, we're proud to support our communities, powering progress and creating opportunities every day. Our partnership with Buckeyes Care reflects a shared commitment to uplifting Central Ohio through service, connection, and care. Together, we are building a brighter future for everyone we serve.
You're listening to the Fan 2 in Columbus. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Welcome back, everybody, into tonight's Buckeye Roundtable show with Jim Lachey, Paul Keels. It's always a great Monday night when we get to spend it talking football with Coach Cooper. Thanks for being down here, Coach.
Thank you.
We are proudly presented by Burger King. Visit your local BK restaurant to grab your $10 O-Fry O-Bundle that includes a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, 8-piece chicken nuggets, and a custom OSU crown, all for just $10 at your local Burger King.
Buckeye Roundtable, Chalk Talk.
Burger King, delivery of the game time. Who needs to deliver most for Ohio State to beat Rutgers?
Special teams, especially protecting the kickers, because we know Rutgers, under Greg Schiano and both stints as head coach there, they have blocked seemingly hundreds of kicks.
They got 3 blocked punts this year.
They do, yeah.
And both
and two of them were for touchdowns.
Exactly. And their safeties have really stepped up and been able to get the pressure on the punter. So they got a little knack for that. And, special teams is something that, is going to be important. For me, I think it's still our rushing attack. We've worked on that the last couple games. You've seen kind of the fruits of their labor, 170 against Purdue, 200 plus against UCLA. Obviously that's something you want to continue to do against when you go against Rutgers, because they're giving up 195 yards. They're kind of worse in the league at that, their rush defense. So, continue to pound that ball. And then when you get to Michigan, you kind of flip the script. I want to throw the ball up when we go up north.
Coach Cooper, who do you want to see deliver on Saturday?
I want to see us continue to really improve in our running game, or continue the good work that we're doing with our running game the last couple of weeks, because we're going to play at least one game when the weather is going to be a factor. You're not going to be able to throw the football. The wind, snow, rain, whatever. You got to learn. You got to run the football. It's the best defense you can play is when you got the ball.
Coach Cooper, we touched on it earlier tonight. Injuries are part of the game. You don't want to take anybody lightly, like with Rutgers coming to town. But do you rest any of the guys, any of your key people, knowing what's coming up next? I mean, what would John Cooper do?
I would rest them this week if the doctor gave me permission. Okay. The doctor would have to tell me, hey, Coach, there's a chance that he shouldn't play this week. If there's any question at all, I would not play him this week.
Same sort of time. You don't want to take anybody for granted. Next thing you know, you're like going, as far as somebody coming in town.
And you worry about rhythm and momentum, too.
No, I think if the guys can go, they would want to go. They want to play.
Exactly.
That's just a football player mentality, because you practice so much. You got spring ball, you got summer workouts, you got training camp, and then, it seems like you practice. There's probably 10 practices for every one game that you have out there. So you want to, if you can play, you want to go out there and perform, because there's nothing like playing in Ohio Stadium or, playing in a football game. You can't duplicate that when you're, so I mean, if you can go, you can go.
Most likely the last game in the horseshoe for a lot of guys. You hope that they win out and have a bye in the CFP, but you never know. Regardless, Jim, as a player, talk about the emotion of senior day.
It's tough, I had tears in my eyes the last time I run out. You run out there, you bring flowers, a rose to your mom and dad. They're out there in the field with you, and you just kind of remember all the travel that they did the last 4 years to come see you play, and all the time that they committed to it, and your family members that have come up to the game. So it just flies by so quick, before you know it, you're a freshman, you're thinking, oh, this is going to last forever. Oh, there's seniors, and then even when you're a freshman, you see a senior that's been a mentor to you, and that's his last go around. You see those guys, tearing up, and you're like, it's tough. I mean, it's so much fun playing football at Ohio State that when it's over, it's over. It's not like the NFL where I'll go one more year. It's finite. You only have so many opportunities to play. Now, some of these guys get 5, 6, 7 years, so it's a little bit longer. But still, that last game, and Ohio State will probably have 15 or 20 that'll be walking. We'll get that list, later this week that you guys are going to go out. But for guys like Sonny Styles and Lorenzo Styles, that'll be their last opportunity. Caden Curry, you can go through the list, but there's going to be a few of those guys that have played great here that won't be playing here anymore.
It's a big day for these senior football players, but you already talked about it. It's a bigger day for the parents.
How about the coaches? Do you get involved in some of that? I mean, I know you're getting ready for a game, but do coaches get emotional with some of the players? Probably not all, but some.
Not really. I mean, you're gonna play another game.
Gotcha.
This ain't the last game for the coach.
Yeah.
Buckeyes,
they're going to a bowl game.
Buckeyes to take us home, Jim Lachey.
Well, J.K. Dobbins is ruled out for the rest of the year. He had a surgery. He's come back. He's gotten banged up several times throughout his career. He's going to be out. Cody Simon, career high 12 tackles with the Cardinals. Man, he is just a tackling machine. He was that at Ohio State. Every week, Jackson Smith and Jigma, just another big game, 100 yards, 105 yards receiving with 9 receptions. Travion Henderson, a couple touchdowns in that game. Found out that Justin Fields is going to be benched. He had 67 yards rushing and a TD last week, but looks like they're going to bench him this week. So it's tough for Justin after being with several teams, trying to get his career figured out. Cam Hayward stepped up again with 5 tackles. Jack Sawyer had a couple tackles in that game. Devon Hamilton with the Jags had 3 tackles, and Emeka Buka 5 receptions in that ball game.
Guys, great job tonight, Paul. Double duty last couple of days. Thank you for coming in.
I'm
Good
sorry.
job.
What'd you say? I'm too tired.
Coach Cooper, always love coming down to join us. Thank you for coming down, Coach.
Thanks so much.
Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. For our producer, Jacob Reimer, and for Jim Lachey, Paul Keels, and Coach John Cooper, I'm Skip Mossick. As always, thanks for listening. From Learfield, this is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.